In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to create a responsive design using CSS media queries. So we have this existing HTML page. So this is just HTML and CSS, a very simple layout. But what we want to do with this is make it mobile friendly. In most cases, you'll be designing for mobile first, but in this case, I had already built this simple page to demonstrate on a different YouTube video, and I will drop a link to that YouTube video. But what we want to do is basically just take that existing code that we have and adapt it to make it mobile friendly. So as you can see now that when I make the page small, the text is not displaying very well. It's off the side of the browser. And this left section of the page is really just wasted space. So what I want to do is take that body content, that main content on the right, and allow it to fill the majority of the screen space. But I do want to keep a little bit of that left background image just displaying, as I think it adds a little bit more style to the page. So let's hop on over to our code now. I'm opening up my editor. So I've got the existing HTML on the left side, and I've got the CSS on the right side of the screen. So the first thing I want to do is to create a new style sheet, and this style sheet will just be for our responsive styles. So I'm going to add a new link element just before the closing of our head tag. So this will be responsive.css, and then I will go ahead and create that file in the CSS folder. And I'm going to share this code with you at the end of the video. You can access this on GitHub, so just check the link in the description for that. So in this responsive style sheet then, let's begin by setting up a media query. So to create a media query, we simply add the @ followed by media keyword, and then we add the name that we are targeting. So it can either be the screen, so that will work for different devices, or you can also set the media query for print only. But in this case, we want to target the screen, and we also want a max width. So we can include a max width or a minimum width, and that allows us just to target certain device sizes. So in this case, we only want devices with a screen size of less than 800 pixels. So if these conditions are met, then all of the styles within this block will be targeted for that device or that screen size. So in this case, I'm using the main right class, and that is the right section of our page. So I just want to test this out first to show you how this works. So in this case, once we resize the browser, the background becomes black and the text becomes white. So it's just a very quick way to show that it is actually responding based on the size of our browser window. So now that we know that the styles are being implemented based on the conditions that we have set, we can go ahead and actually style this up properly now. So what I want to do here is to remove a lot of this dead space on the left side of the page. So I want to have a little bit of the image showing on the left. So what we can do here is change this to main left, and we'll change this to be a width of 0. So currently we have a width set on the main left class, and previously we have this set for a percentage, but we can make this 0 just to eliminate that space. And you'll see a little bit of padding is left behind. So we've got this background image. So I think just having a little bit of background image here allows us to just bring a little bit of style into the page. And the next thing I can do here is just modify the existing navigation at the top of the page. So on the desktop screen, it's quite spaced out. All of the navigation has quite a lot of space in between it. So I'll begin here just by changing the font size. So I'm going to make this 16 pixels. And you'll see that it is off the screen on the right. So we want to tighten this up a little bit. We don't want it going off the screen like this. You can see there's also quite a lot of blank space at the top. So let's go back to our original style sheet. I want to see how this looks. So this is our original style for the list, and you can see here that there is a padding on both sides of these list elements. So let's begin by removing this just to see how it looks. And now it's very tight, but we will need a little bit of space here, but I think we can reduce it down a little bit on mobile. So it's a little bit better, but it's still off the screen. One thing we can try here is changing the text to be lowercase. So currently the text is being transformed to uppercase, so we'll change it back to the original case for the text. And you'll see that that does help. It is fitting on the screen now. We're noticing here that the title of the page, which is normally on the left side of the screen, has disappeared because we are making that left side have a 0 width. So I want to move that title, that H1 tag, up to the top of our page. So let's modify this. Let's say the H1, we will give a position of absolute, and we'll give it a top position of 20 pixels. And we'll also do the same for the left. Now you can see the title now, or the page heading. You can see it on the screen now, but the position does need to be updated a little bit. We'll also need to change the color to black. So make the text black. And we'll tweak these positions a little bit. Okay, so it looks pretty good right now. It's lined up with the content underneath. So overall, this looks pretty good right now. So this is a very simple example of just how you can style up a page to work on multiple device sizes. We could take this even further and do something completely different in terms of design, but my main goal here was simply to format the content of the page to fit the smaller screen size and make it look presentable. So hopefully you've learned something from this video and found it helpful. And if you have found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. And I will see you all in the next one.